Sagittarius, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-July 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Sagittarius collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going. Guides and spirit team, talk to me about these lovely Saggies in mid-July. What's going on for my dear friends? What energies, messages, insights can we take a look at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. Well, let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Saggy, please. What's happening with my good friends? Guides, talk to me. What messages do we have? Quick, very quick. Oh, okay, we have a little Red Riding Hood here. Now, don't be too nervous about the imagery of that card. Of course, it could be concerning with that big bad wolf in the background. To me, a big energy linked to this oracle card in particular is focus, and I saw that in Aries, I believe. So similar themes within the fire signs. And we'll talk about it. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little more in depth about this card. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone has heard the fairy tale a time or two, and we see Little Red Riding Hood in the woods. Behind her is that big bad wolf, and he is staring her down. He's looking at her. They are deep in the woods alone. So of course this is an uneasy type of energy, and I don't always say like, hey, be careful, watch out, Saggy, there could be someone watching your moves. Of course it could represent like being under someone's microscope, or maybe there might be a situation that is under yours, or a person. It could all really play into this, but a big energy I always pick up again is focus. So whether that's spirit saying like, hey, Saggy, you might be focusing on one thing a little too much, or maybe there's something you're not focusing on enough. There might be some message to be pulled here for a lot of you about like putting your energy, putting your focus, putting your attention in the proper places when this card is in the mix. Now, of course, if you want to take this as its literal meaning with the big bad wolf, of course, it could be a cautionary tale when this is here. But we're going to see what shows up within tarot. I do feel for a lot of you, it's more just about redirecting or directing your energies properly. So we're just going to put it down right there. Let's get into tarot now. And I always say with this first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up here one time for my lovely Saggy friends, my guide, spirit team. Talk to me. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Serious Situation, so just know that this energy could bleed over for a couple weeks, whether it's a situation that you need to take seriously or one that you are. Again, it could also go out to other people as well, but it seemed like there's something that needed your attention. Interesting how we have this card in the front end of this week's reading that kind of links into that, like what you're focused on, what's getting your attention, what's not. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone else. So let's get it going. 3 cards here for my Saggies, please. What do we have in mid-July for the Saggy Collective? Thank you. Okay, we do have the Emperor, so some fiery fire sign energy, and it's linking into the big theme that we've been picking up so far. Okay, so far. But we'll talk about it. The Emperor could be a really good card. Could be a lot of you like, yeah, I got this. I got this under control. Let's get a couple more. So much authority here. Okay, with the Emperor and the Hierophant right next to him. Okay. That's very peculiar. So your reading already has a completely different vibe than any of the ones I've done in recent times. Let's get a couple more. Let's one more. Thank you. Okay, so there is going to be a bonus, but one thing that I want to mention here, Sagittarius, is there are 3 main cards, and they all could be perceived as authority figures. Okay, lots of fire energy here too. Bonus, we do have the Sun. So this could be really nice. That could be good potentially. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first glance, my friends, again, I know I was giving you my thoughts and some musings while the cards were coming out. We have the Emperor. We have the Hierophant. We have the King of Wands. So there's similar energies on the outsides here. All of these cards are authoritative in one way or another. So it's going to be interesting to see like where this energy is going, who's calling the shots, what do you have under control, what do you not. Like there's going to be a lot of things really at play here, and we could be looking at a lot of other people's energies as well. Okay, it's like we have a grand fire trine as well, because we have Aries, we have Leo, we have a card that could be you. So there's a lot of stuff happening here. I want to go through because I feel like there's going to be a lot of nuance. Let's build this out piece by piece. So position number one, we do have the Emperor himself. So again, Aries energy. Now, he is the divine masculine counterpart to the Emperor. So normally when I see this, I think it's a good card. Now, again, it could represent authority figures, people that are in places of authority. So whether this is a career thing like a boss or a supervisor, whether this is like a patriarch of the family or even a father figure, the Emperor could be any of those things. But I always say this is the king of all kings, right? This is the big boss type of vibe. So for some of you, you might be calling the shots in regards to something. You may be trusted with some sense of authority. This is a very strong type of energy. Now, those are the positives. There's a lot of energy here that, if it's focused correctly, could bring a lot of manifestation and creation. The rougher side, because you know I always give the rough side of every single card, the Emperor could be someone that has control issues. Okay? So whether you or somebody else, either they're too controlling or they don't care to have any say or any control at all, there could be some imbalance in regards to who's calling the shots. For a big portion of you with all this authoritative energy, there could be a situation or something you're dealing with where your say-so, where the energy you put into it could really make a huge difference. Now, moving to the center, we have the Hierophant. Notice a lot of similarities with this Emperor that we have. So it's like we have Aries, now we have Taurus. Right? So you might be connected to the Taurus. If that's not the case, this is one of the more in-depth cards in the whole entire tarot deck. So the Hierophant, it could represent uh, institutions like political institutions, governments, corporations. Again, this could represent authority figures. It's very spiritual as well. Normally, this is a card that is extremely sturdy. It's your routine. It's your day-to-day life. It's life within the box, not thinking outside of it when we have the Hierophant. Again, there could be a very strong spiritual depth connected with this card. So a lot of you may be throwing energy into philosophical things or spiritual things with this Hierophant here. In regards to connections and relationships, this could represent someone that's in your life or will be for a very long time when the Hierophant is here. Those are the positives, or some of them. It's just not movable. And that's where the frustrating energy could come in with this Hierophant, because it's standing firm. This is planted. This is long-term type of energy. It's either something that's not going to budge or is very, very difficult to budge when it's in its roughest sense. Okay, so when we have a card like the Emperor and a card like the Hierophant, watch out for power struggles in this time, where it's like two people on opposing sides, a big power struggle possible energy here. Even with what we have here on the back end, it could be possible. Now, for a portion of you, you might be more strict in your ways than you normally are about various things when I see all this authority. You might be, okay? So whether you're like getting your life together, or getting something together, enforcing your will on something, that's kind of what this is giving me. But we have the King of Wands. Now, I will say this is almost a carbon copy of what we have right here in the front with the Emperor, just a little less evolved. Now, it could represent any fire sign, so Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and this is literally representing where you put your energy. What are you putting your energy into? What are you focusing on? Okay, so again, a lot of the themes of this Emperor, a lot of the themes that we've been seeing since the very beginning still come up here. Now, in its simplistic form, the King of Wands in a fire sign reading, it could just tell us something that's coming towards us or something we might be experiencing in this time. On the back end, we have Leo energy as a bonus with the Sun. Most positive card in the deck. So although I'm using some like big energies that we're picking up here within the reading itself, when I see the Sun, I think like, all right, this is a silver lining. Everything's going to be okay. So you might really have something amazing coming your way. Okay, so whether you're being trusted with some sort of authority or say so, we're just going to have to look at it. It's universal, very powerful. That's the one thing I could say about all this, especially with the fire. There could be a little unpredictability, but I want to dive deeper on all that, Saggy. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here from my Saggy friends, please. guides, and spirit team. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Mr. Emperor here. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Saggy, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Emperor time. One thing I want to mention while we get this card out for the Emperor Sagittarius is the fact that with all this fire, 3 of the 4 cards are fire. It could be spontaneous. So whereas we have like this immovable energy here in the center, there's a lot of changeability. You know, fire could be very good for moving things forward, but at the same time, it could be volatile and explosive. So let's see how it goes. Let's get this Emperor out quick. Oh, okay. We have the 7 of Swords in reverse underneath this Emperor. This could easily be somebody stepping up to the plate or trying to. Like, listen, I'm taking control of this. Like, this is my ship now type of energy. So for some of you, if there's any situations you've been dealing with where things have gotten a little out of hand, or if things have been like really intense, I feel like you can make a big difference here. Another thing I'm picking up is like the need for total clarity and truth. Now, for a portion of you, you might be seeing things very clear. This is a very stern, serious energy with all this authority we're picking up. And the 7 of Swords is usually a hidden, obscured type of card. It could represent people that are not really trustworthy sometimes. So when I see it in reverse, it represents revealing or seeing things clearly. So for a lot of you, I do feel like your perspective in various situations could be really needed, okay, to help solve them. But this Emperor is not playing games. That's one thing I'm saying here. Whoever this is or whoever this might represent to you, they mean business. Like, this is someone, I take them at their word. I believe what they're saying. I believe the energy they're putting forth. And this is someone who's like, yeah, this is my ship now type of energy. Let's keep moving. Again, I don't want to like spend too much time there, but whoever that is, they mean business. Okay. Let's see what that Hierophant has to say. And again, for a lot of you, whatever things you might be dealing with, if you step into this Emperor energy where you enforce a little bit more of your opinion or your control, you could really help steer the results. Okay, there is this big thing around focus. Okay, let's see what the Hierophant has. Thank you. Okay. There is a little resistance here. We have the Knight of Swords underneath this Hierophant. Okay, so this could possibly be a problem. This could possibly be some pushback. Now, I guess it depends on what end of the spectrum you're on, because in the front end, I have someone trying to take charge or someone trying to call the shots, like, yeah, this is my show and I'm going to make the calls. And we have this energy in the center that's like, no, not so fast. Like, there's pushback here. So just know, in this time, maybe with all this authority, don't get involved in other people's power struggles. That could be very important here. But again, this could be a problem. Like, if someone's trying to put something forward, if someone's trying to make some progress, I'm picking up pushback here. Okay, and this could go in the realm of relationships. This could go in the realm of work even, where it's like, all right, there's a power struggle happening here. There's going to be pushback. Okay, where it's like, I'm the boss. No, I'm the boss. No, I'm the boss. No, I'm the boss. It's like giving me that kind of vibe. Now, the Knight of Swords. Also, we have the 7 of Swords here too, which is fire, air, all over the place. We have one earthy card, so there could be a very explosive energy here. It feels pretty tense, if I were to say so myself. But the Knight of Swords is about action. It's about movement. It's about moving things forward. It's aggressive in its ways. So under a very planted type of energy here, there's a little frustration in the mix. That's why I'm saying you might receive pushback in this time. Okay, or you might be pushing back against something as well. And I do feel it's inevitable, if that makes sense. Like, this pushback, this possible clash of energies, I don't want to say it's necessary. It just feels like it's inevitable. There's a lot of people in this energy as well. Okay, so we're just going to keep moving forward. Again, this is problematic in the center. The fact that we have so much fire and air, there is explosive energy all over the place. So let's see what the Knight of Wands has to say, because maybe that's your energy on the back end, where it's like, I don't want to get involved in all this. Let's see what's happening with that the King of Wands, pardon me. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow card. Yeah, 5 of Cups. Okay. Now, I will say for some of you, whatever this is might not even be yours. Okay, so be very cautious in this time. If you're the type of individual or you stay in your own lane, you do your own thing, totally cool. And I think that should probably be the vibe that you stick with in this time, because what we have going on up here is like a really strong clash. It's a really strong power struggle where like one is trying to enact change, the other one wants to keep things the same. It's like, I'm the boss, no, I'm the boss. It's a very struggle bus, if I were to say so myself. But underneath the King of Wands, which could be a card representing you, we have the Five of Cups. If you are connected to another fire sign, they might not be feeling the best right now. Five of Cups is a little down, it's a little depressed, it's a little emo, right? You see this person, they're sad. Now, the good thing about this, it is somebody in their feelings. That's not the good thing. It's just intense feelings. The positive thing, though, is this is not temporary. So although we have like these explosive energies, like struggles, and we have like a power struggle and a problem happening here, um, it might not be yours to carry. Okay, that's one thing I want to tell a lot of Saggies in this time with this Five of Cups. You might be a very sensitive individual and you pick up the energies of those you care about and even those that surround you. So just watch out that this energy doesn't infiltrate you too much, if that makes sense. That's a big vibe I'm picking up here on the back end, because this power struggle is so intense here on the front end. Just watch that you're not investing too much of your energy into this back and forth for whatever reason. Um, let's go through and do a quick recap though, Saggy, because there's a lot of layers to this. There could be a lot of different things happening here. I would say a lay low approach would probably be the best. But if you kindly look in the box before we get into the shadow card, we have the Emperor with the Seven of Swords in reverse. This person seems like they mean business. Like they're coming in, they're seeing things clearly. So for some of you, if there's something that's been plopped in your lap, you might have a good energy about you where you could bring a new perspective to figure out problems, to figure out strategies. But we also have pushback going on here because it's like this person steps up, but this person is like not so fast. We have the Hierophant with the Knight of Swords. So it's like, I'm in control. No, I'm in control. So whether this is you or somebody else, I mean, it feels like it could get very tense and it could be problematic with all this pushback. So just know this week, I'm not seeing any like huge major red flags, but there can be problems. Like if you're trying to move something forward, if you're trying to move a relationship thing forward or a work thing forward or progress something, there's an energy of friction and pushback. Moving to the back end, we have the Knight of Wands with the King of Wands with the Five of Cups. Again, if this is you outside looking in on something like that, just know that it could be affecting your energy in a big way. So try not to get pulled into other people's stuff or struggles if possible. But if you're connected to another fire sign, you're really not feeling too good about it. Big thing here is like your empathy could be heightened in this time. So keep that in mind. If you are in a struggle of some kind, or if there's a problem you're going through right now, it could leave you feeling a little zapped. So please take a screenshot of that. Let's get you a shadow card super quick. Okay. And let's see what's happening here. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be good too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out here nice and quick. What do we have for Saggy in the shadows? Thank you. The Knight of Wands, so even more fire energy, and I know I misspoke for the King of Wands several times and called him the Knight of Wands, and this is showing up here within the shadows again. So a less evolved energy of the Emperor, and now the King of Wands, and now we have the Knight of Wands. So watch out for any situations you're going through taking a step back, because I'm kind of getting that 2 steps forward, 1 step back, especially with this link to the whole entire reading itself. Now, again, we have another night. Nights are all about action and moving things forward. Just know it might not be your full responsibility to figure something out or solve it on your own when I'm seeing this within the shadows. You might need to cut loose a little bit for some of you. You might need to have some fun when I see the Knight of Wands in the shadows. Have some fun, but don't overdo it. Okay, but for a lot of you, just know that something, although you could make a difference, it might not be your full responsibility. So Saggy, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The link is down below. But for the July subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of another one of my favorite decks, the Wizard's Tarot. Absolutely beautiful and works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's two simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, since I have the travel bug lately, let me know down in the comments what is the most beautiful place you visited in person. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.